What's going on? Back plugged in again. What's your boy, the Prophet? Alright, and I know y'all been waiting for it. I know. But today we back plugged it again with the Mind tier list. PvP, PvE for Bleach Brave Souls. This will be a PvE only, and the main factor is clear time in most cases, unless there are massive levels of intangibles that would say otherwise. But yeah, normally for tier list, I don't drop an intro because it's a longer video, so I'll get right into it. Alright, so yeah, starting out with our C tier, we have White Zangetsu. I do believe I forgot to add him into the Mind tier list last time. He's definitely a better autoer than he's a better, more funner character, to use compared to like all the ones in C tier. He does have weakening on everything with the 50 bruiser and a normal attack damage link and Soul Reaper killer. So he gets about 90% damage against Soul Reapers with weakening on everything. So overall, like back in the day, he was a lot of people's favorite character to like run hybrid, because back in the day, NAD characters couldn't get PvE killers. So he's basically like, he was a good hybrid for back in the day. Kusaka, he is a 16 DR link with a captain killer, 40 bruiser. He was kind of, and weakened defense, but his soul bomb isn't even full screen. So yikes. But yeah, freeze on everything. They tried to make him to be an Unohana killer, but it just didn't work. Next we'll look at the tag team Shuhei and Kazushini. The only time that this unit is super dangerous is when he's in epic raid. I mean, it's when he's an IZ boss, okay? He has a quick NAD string and he's ranged. And double killers with paralysis on almost everything. Pretty much it. Yua, range collision, pretty much everything. No frenzy, no flurry. DR link. Does have a transformation mechanic. Can stall you out a bit. Not fun at all to use. Mind Ichigo. Yeah, he's a NAD unit, but yeah, no. Anyways, moving on to B tier, Tsukishima. Alright, I will say that the Mind Ichigo, he has a decent NAD string, and he is a Chronicle Quest bonus. Alright, Tsukishima, looking at B tier. This Tsukishima does have a non-affiliation killer with confusion on everything. A lunging first. A 575, just straight up like AoE second strong attack, like one of the OG strong attacks kind of. Third is full screen. Yeah, solid character, except if he had recharge and a better killer, he'd be a lot more solid. But the Tensa he has like a similar kit as a lot of these other units. Oh, actually, yeah, hang on a second. She's definitely in front of him. Yeah. I'll go like that. I'm fine with that. Alright, so next we're going to be talking about the Christmas Yoruichi. She has a range collision first strong attack, which kind of sucks. And her second is a lunging first strong attack, similar to TLA Soy Foam. Just looks a bit different. And the third is a full screen. So she was actually pretty solid for Guild Quest back in the day, but her range collision first led to some very weird placement on those weeks. But yeah, Soul Reaper killer, freeze on everything. No berserker or anything like that. The White Tenza, he had the same thing as pretty much most of the units after him, except for what's her name, Kukaku, who she's next. But he has a projectile range collision first, moving vortex second, and a full screen third. He has lacerate on everything and a 14 recharge link, so that's the reason I put him like a little bit above the other ones. But yeah, then we're gonna look at, oh, and he has Sword per Kill as well. Kukaku Shiba, that is the swimsuit version. A certain je ne sais quoi. Um, yeah, she has a lunging first, and then a vortex second strong attack, and her third is 900 radius with the wrong card killer. I think she has burn on everything. She had a full screen third. Should be a little bit more solid, but Vortex Strong Attack makes you a slower play style. But it's not worse than a crawling Vortex. So let's see here. Yeah, Aizen, like a lot of people might be confused. Not a lot of people, but newer players might be confused at why he's placed so low. He has one of the worst types of first strong attacks in the game. Um, being it be a range collision first. Then his second is a vortex, which the vortex lasts like 4 to 5 seconds. So instead of just killing a bunch, instead of killing, you know, two waves or three waves with your second strong attack in an instant, he has to do his second strong attack and the damage just ticks over 4 to 5 seconds. So it really does lend it to be very slow, having to use two strong attacks at the same time to clear a lot of enemies when like you just shouldn't have to do that. So yeah, and then his third is a charge attack. It is a distant charge attack, so it like that's pretty good, but like they just should have done it better. If you charge it for 3 seconds, it goes to 900 radius, but you have to charge it for a full 26 seconds to get 1000 radius. And there are people that have a 3 second charge with the 1080 radius. There are people that have a 3 second charge with the 1200 radius. So like don't see why they couldn't give him that. With that charge time is just stupidly massive. You honestly shouldn't even use. You shouldn't charge it for the whole thing. Imagine you're charging a strong attack for 20 something seconds, and you can only hit one wave of enemies with it in co-op, unless you're hosting. And it's like, and if you're hosting and you're charging this for 26 seconds, your whole entire team is just absolutely suffering. So there's really never a good time to charge this thing up fully. The same with this Cacao Society White Ichigo. His design's really cool, but he has a range collision first with the moving vortex second, and then he has a charge attack for his third. And it's not even a distant charge; it's a like around you charge, which means you gotta charge it up for 3 seconds and then flash step in the middle of enemies to like get the best effect out of it. So yeah. Then the Scar Mask Nell, I would actually put Nell over him. Um, Shit. Oh, and Aizen does have start barrier and a last ditch survival mechanic, which is the only reason he's like over Nell. Cause I would say her first strong attack is a little bit better than his, and her third is better because it's just straight up full screen without charging or waiting a year to charge it up. So yeah. And then, but this white Ichigo does have healing, or he does have weakening on everything. But like I said, range collision first, moving vortex second, charge third, not good. This now does have a pretty. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. Her kit, she has a range collision first, and then her second is a heal move, which is classified as a melee attack. So she can only break guard with her first and third strong attack, which is really bad. A Rancor killer, she does have a berserker, but she can't break guard with her second strong attack. So yeah, that's not good. So yeah, let me see here. She does have weakening on everything with an around car killer though. And those are pretty much her high points. Bonkin will be up so much higher if you just had Sprinter. But literally nothing equates to not having enough Sprinter. Like, nothing equates to that. Because, like, yeah. Yeah, he has a transformation mechanic which refills his strong attacks. And that's actually really cool. But you can only flash step at the speed of a turtle. So it's really unfortunate. Moving on to A tier. This Batagon is still a very good unit. And I know, like, I basically how I did it, I collapsed, I condensed the tier list. So I took out a tier. So there's less tiers now than before. So before there's a D tier, now it just goes to C tier. So I just condensed it. So A and B tier are a bit longer this time around for sure. But so that doesn't take away from like how good this Batagon is. I mean, you know what? I can't even, like, I can't even cap for real. Alright. Yeah, looks like we'll be talking about Batagon later. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start A tier off this time around with the swimsuit Halibel. Like I said, guys, not that she's a bad character. She's actually a great character. Actually, a lot of these characters in the A tier are really good, to be quite frank with you. Um, she has a 725 beam first strong attack. Her second is a lunge, similar to TLA Soy Phone and Zombie Tosh. And then her third is a charge attack. I don't like it because it's a charge attack like that surrounds her, so it's not full screen, and you gotta kind of charge it and then flash step in the middle of the enemies to kind of inflict full damage. So yeah, she doesn't have any status elements, and she has weakened attack on her soul bomb if I'm not mistaken. Uh, yeah, and that's pretty much it about her. She has a really good first strong attack with the recharge link and hollow killer. So yeah, she's a very good character. That 725 beam is like the best first strong attack in most cases without having. So yeah. Then you go to Jushiro, who he is a pretty solid character as well. 14 recharge with debilitating freeze on his first and second, and then paralysis on his I meant first and third, and then paralysis on his second. His first is a lunge. His second is a boss killer move, so it's a range collision that starts inside of him and just rips out in a like pretty short AOE. But if you can get right up close to a boss, you'll spike them for a really high amount of damage. His third isn't full screen, which definitely holds him back. Especially when you compare him to somebody like Bankai Shinji, who like came out before him. But Mine Shinji, excuse me, not Bankai Shinji. Mine Shinji has Havoc and a 1200 radius third strong attack, while he only has a 900 radius second strong attack. I mean third strong attack. So it definitely sucks for him a little bit. Then we'll go on to this Rukia. This is the Christmas Rukia from 2017. She actually has a very solid kit. Lunging first, which gets her launches her pretty far. Her second is a barrier move. She has Frenzy with freeze on everything and a full stamina damage link. So that's the equivalent to her having a Berserker, Bruiser, and an additional special magnification of 20% when she's at full stamina. She doesn't have recharge, so that holds her back a little bit, but her soul bomb is going to hit harder than most people at this stage because of the full stamina damage. We're going to go ahead and look at this Cacao Society Soy Phone for flash steps, and her first is range collision, but it has a massive AoE. I believe it's 1,000 radius wide, so it pretty much covers the screen and kills pretty quickly. Her second is a range collision to melee collision split, and her third is a full screen. 25 strong attack damage linked with the hollow killer. This Ikaku has a lunging first. His second is like a two-phase attack, which does lock you in place. And then his third is a full screen. Doesn't have any status elements or any brute or any berserker or anything like that. Does have a slight bruiser. This Loopy has a guard break, but he has a range collision first and the same type of strong attack as like Ikaku, but with Havoc. And then he does have a 1200 radius full screen, but he has a really bad killer. And yeah, his first is not the best type of range collision. Yeah. Then we'll move on to this Segunda type of Ukiora. He has Havoc with a range collision first and a moving Vortex second, but he does have a charge attack third plus Havoc. So he gets more distance than has more AoE on his charge attack than Eisen has on his like 26-second charge attack. So keep that in mind. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty solid and has burn on everything. And his soul bomb makes pretty damn hard. Moving on to our auto / epic raid tier, and I do value these characters separate. It's not all about clear speed with these characters. It's about they can clear content, they can clear epic raids, and they can auto content with minimal gear. You don't have to have the best gear on these characters to auto stuff. Just set them up with damage reduction and whatever your best links are, whether they're trash or not. Unlike SP characters, the better your rolls are, the more you can wipe massive waves out with one strong attack. So, yeah. But let's go ahead with it. So, Shusuke Amagai is actually a great character. He has Flurry with Poise and a damage reduction soul trait. He also has the 20% normal attack damage up to Soul Reapers for Mind. So, that's actually a pretty good thing that he does, boosting flurry characters. Pretty solid. He does have a crazy kit. 725 beam first strong attack, 800 radius second strong attack, which is actually the best second strong attack in the game without Havoc. Standard second strong attack in the game. And full screen third. So he has actually nutty kit. If they ever do go with a guard break item, I would say he's going to be a way better autoer than the new Kisuke, just because his second strong attack is so insane, and his hybrid build would be great. They both have 50 Berserker, but he doesn't have guard break. Like, his kit is actually, he literally has like the best kit in the game, but he's a flurry character. So he doesn't have Havoc, and he doesn't get those frenzy numbers, but it is really fun to run him as a hybrid though. Noitora, very solid autoer, has a boost and a shield move to start, so he's going to be impenetrable up until 10 hits of damage. That helps him clear epic raids faster. You can just be reckless those first 10 minutes, those first like 20 seconds, unless it's like those insta kill moves. Yeah, he's not really going to have, he has a captain killer, so that's not really going to come into play very much in PvE, except in like epic raids and stuff, or at the end of the boss in like IZ. And yeah, so Notori is a very solid autoer. Just set him up with whatever gear you can, and they'll do it. Kiryu Fune, boost and the heal. Range autoers are much slower than melee, and she doesn't have guard break. If she had guard break, she would be like one of the best mind characters in the game. To be quite frank with you, boost and the heal, range nad, and if she would have had guard break, like I said, should have been very OP. But yeah, so she does have sword per killer, which lends her to be very good for autoing, but no, guard break means she's going to be running into a lot of guarded enemies, and she can only break guard with her first and her third strong attack because her second is a heal / barrier. This Vassalord Ichigo actually might be a better autoer than Kiryu, just because he can come back to life at least once, but she does provide support for the whole team, so that's why I have her over him. Even though she autos slower, she's a better support in like epic raids and like for your IZ team if you're autoing solo IZ or whatever. Yeah, Vassalord Ichigo is solid in PvP too, just to kind of bring that up, but obviously Noitora is way better. But yeah, so Vasso auto's pretty solid. Last ditch link. There you go. Same thing with Sajin. If it's like a Spada, in the spot at Epic Raid, and he's a bonus. He's going to do crazy damage. You can just set him up with damage reduction links, and he can just auto content like it's no man's bee's nass. Alright, so we're going to go up to the S tier, and we are going to be looking at the boy, Zombie Tosh. Now, I would definitely say between Zombie Tosh and Retsu, it's very, very close. Unohana has a better second and third. The thirds really can be interchangeable. Hers is better because she has like all of the back range, but he has more forward projection range. So yeah, they both have the same bruiser and berserker. And they both have freeze on everything. She has guard break, so she's going to get more damage on her second and third without guard. However, his first is just way better. Her if Okay, so his first can be spammed, and not only that, he has a double lunge kit. So his first is a lunge, and his second is a lunge, and his third is a 975 full screen or distant AOE strong attack. So same exact third as Mind Shikai Bankai Ichigo. So yeah, I think he's the only one that's listed with that strong attack. And then yeah, so if Retsu had like a beam first strong attack, because she has Havoc, like the 870 beam or even a lunge, she would legitimately be like, if she had a beam, she'd be better than SS Byakuya, because she'd be SS Byak plus guard break. So yeah, definitely a very savage unit for damn sure. So yeah, 800 or 960 radius second strong attack for her. And oh my bad, Tosh has Soul Reaper, a round card killer, and Poise, by the way, and he does have weakening on the second strong attack. Retsu has freeze on everything. Her first really slows her down. It's that split collision. It's 3 separate projectiles, and like you really got to get super close to really do any damage. With a ranged character, you don't want to be getting right up on the enemies. Zio has what's basically the best first strong attack in the game. 870 beam, no berserker though, with Havoc. So yeah, he does have a moving vortex second, but it's like the biggest moving vortex in the game. And his third is a little bit disappointing because it's 1080 radius, but he has Havoc, which means that would have been 900 radius, which means it could have been 1200 radius. So he could have a 1200 radius third, and if that was the case, like I really only believe that only reason he's ahead of Zio is because of the first strong attack. But Shinji has a better second and third than this Zio. And Zio does have the resurrection mechanic on his soul bomb. And he does give that to the team with the poison on everything and the Soul Reaper killer with the recharge link, of course. This Shinji has one of the better second strong attacks in the entire game. It's basically like a super amped up 870 beam second strong attack. Because yeah, it's like 1080 width wide, like it's absolutely massive. One of the better second strong attacks in the game, and they don't give it out very often. The only other person that actually has this strong attack that I know of is Tag Team Toshiro, but he does not have Havoc. So yeah, Shinji has the 1200 radius third strong attack with the 25 strong attack damage link. If he gets a strong attack recharge link, he's literally going to be one of the most top tier characters in the game even right now, even without an additional berserker, because he already has 25% berserker. But yeah, so he'll probably get 25 berserker. He'll probably get another 20 berserker plus a SAR link, and that's all he would need to be god tier. This Halibel, yeah, she has a slightly better second strong attack than the Shinji plus guard break, but her first is like really bad. It's a solid bit of range collision, I will say. Yeah, it's honestly tough between these two. You can make a case and say Halibel should be first, but Shinji definitely has a better kit than her for sure, and he has guard break. But only her main advantage on Shinji is that she has the SAR link, and a 800 rated second strong attack. But his second strong attack has more width. Her just has more like side radius. So I guess I'm okay with putting her over him because she does have guard break. So the more transcendence you have on her, she's going to be able to just melt content. This Rangiku has the same kit as Spirit Society Byakuya, minus her second strong attack isn't nearly as good, although it's range collision or melee collision then range collision projectile. It's like an 1100 like 1100 length back, which is actually insane. So it does have quite a bit of length. She has a no affiliation killer with a weakening on everything, 20 berserker bruiser, and yeah, so she's pretty solid. If she had a better killer, then she would be a lot better. I had a really tough time. If you guys remember earlier, I actually swapped out Batagon and Isane into S tier. Simply because, man, like Isane is like, she's exactly like Heart Toshiro, but she has a recharge link and she has 20 berserker. So if Heart Tosh was a top 10 unit for Heart and Heart so stacked, then Isane definitely should be up here for sure. I would think Batagon will probably clear a little bit faster than Isane because of the second strong attack differences, but she's going to consistently hit harder than him without that weakening. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, between both of these characters are absolutely amazing. Batagon has a lunge first, a beam second, and then a distant AoE third, which is just absolutely amazing. With weakening on everything, he does have one of the better kits in the game. His kit is exactly similar to Kirinji uh, of the Zero Squads. Beam first, I meant lunge first, beam second, and then distant AoE spread third. He just doesn't have Havoc. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, so that is our Batagon. And yeah, once again, absolutely amazing unit. We will go ahead and drop it. Get to our S rank, S plus rank here. And in my personal opinion, I have Candace leading the way. She does have 3 flash steps with Havoc, lunging first strong attack, 960 distant AoE second, which is the best standard second strong attack in the game, within a 1200 radius full screen third, plus weaken defense. Makes her absolutely devastating, not only in epic raids, but just in regular PvE content. Her soul bomb hits so hard. She has that extra flash step to make her more intangible, and no one in like IZ and Extreme Co-op is going to have killer against her, so that's pretty awesome. Perfect kit. Only way she could have been better is if she would have had long stride, but weakening defense. Oh my god, it's so great with her, especially the extra flash step. Just makes her that much closer to Hikone in the speed department. Speaking of Hikone, now the fact that Transcendence is the thing now, just one dupe of or no dupes of Hikone, but level 10 SP slot, he's gonna be racing through content like no one's business. He's still gonna clear content faster than Candace. And pretty much he's going to clear content faster than everybody on this list, except for True Bankai Ichigo when it's Guild Quest. But we're going to get to him next. So he kind of has a lunging first, 882nd strong attack, and a full screen third, with paralysis immunity, which means he's going to be absolutely crazy for autoing. Weakening on everything, don't know if I said that already. Long stride with triple flash steps, which means he's 3 times faster than just about every single unit in the game. And I would say about 95. He's 3 times faster than about 90% of the units in the game. So keep that in mind. Weakening on everything, super killer. He's never going to be lost in the meta because of how fast he is. And you can say, oh, long stride doesn't help that much. However you feel about it, it's up to you, but it does help. It helps you dodge, which helps you stay alive, which helps your soul tickets, and he also clears faster. So at the end of the day, he's a great character with a basically perfect kit. If he ever gets resurrected and gets Havoc, he's going to be an absolute monster, okay? He doesn't have any Berserker, but like I said, if you have him 1 of 5 with a level 10 SP slot, which he should be anyway, or 2 out of 5 with that extra focus, he's going to rip content. This Ichigo, if he would have had a beam second strong attack, I would put him over Hikone. I mean, if he'd had an 800 rated second strong attack, he'd be over Hikone for me personally, but he doesn't. His second strong attack does lend itself to be not that it's narrow. It's just not anywhere near as wide and girthy as that 800 rated second strong attack that Hikone has. Mind you, he does have that massively intangible skill, which is a hidden enemy chance, as well as a transformation mechanic, which makes him absolutely busted. 60 or 40 bruiser berserker, 60 devastation, and then once he transforms, he hits even harder. So yeah, he's gonna hit very, very hard and clear content very fast. Some people don't like his first. You just gotta, or his second. You just gotta have a little bit more planning with it. And then we're gonna talk about this Kisuke. Some might feel he should be higher or lower. However you feel about it, he's better than just an auto or ER unit. But the most thing he has that makes him tangible is his IZ Crystal Link skill, or the IZ +5 skill, which makes him like a must-have character. Not that you absolutely need the IZ +5 skill, because you can just host your own lobbies and request the IZ plus skills. That's what I do when I don't have them, and that's the smartest thing to do regardless of how you feel about it. So yeah, he's basically similar to Tokinata, being that he is ranged with the perfect Nad string, guard break, and he does have intangibles like that shield mechanic, which shield mechanic make him almost untouchable while he's autoing like IZ. You know, when he puts up those barriers, he can withstand the one-shot KO moves versus somebody like Tokinata can't. And the fact that this character does have the IZ Link skill makes him more worth having than Tokinata. And also, there are no guard break or round card killers for that are good autoers. So, yeah, like I know Heart Soifon is flurry with a round card killer, but she don't have guard break. So she's going against people that aren't a round card. She's going to struggle a bit, way more than this Kisuke. So this Kisuke is the mind unit that we've needed for autoing for a long time. And I'm so glad that I was able to pull him. Definitely was blessed to do so. And yeah, the Kisuke, I feel like if his first is range collision, but it doesn't really matter that much, because the only time you really ever need to use his strong attacks is to like either push mobs away and get him off of you, or to use his barrier attack. I do still recommend using him as a hybrid when you auto, because his soul bomb does do a decent amount of damage. So I run him with hybrid, and yeah. They're going to be talking about Demon Koga, or Evil Revive Koga, however you want to call him. Still has the best kit on this entire list, being that his third is a distant AoE 1170 radius, which is masterfully monsterful strong attack. Like, only he and Kadenji have this strong attack with Havoc, as well as the Can't Fear in word Shunsui. Yeah, just those three. But yeah, he has the same first and second as SS Byac, Bankai Shinji. Yeah, those god tier units, except he has a better third, but he does not have any berserker or any transformation mechanics at that. But he is 14 star. But yeah, I digress. That has been the best mind characters tier list, completely updated for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you support it with a like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't checked out me and Jamber Summons, make sure you do that, because it was pretty lit. But with that being said, I don't like, share, subscribe, Prophet Nation. I do love y'all. Oh, shout out to my sponsor, gang. I really love y'all. You feel me? And until next time, I'll see y'all. I'm out.